Do you know that feeling like after you finish reading a book or watching a film and you just loved it so much that you spend the next 2-3 hours looking at lists of the best books or films in that genre, hoping to recapture like some addict, that feeling that what you just finished gave you? You know that feeling? Let me know down below if you do. We've all been there. I don't remember what it was that I had just read or what it was that I had just watched, but I was looking up lists of the best ever, epic, ever love stories written ever. And Baltasar and Blimunda by Jose Saramago kept on coming up. And first of all, what a name! Thank you very much. Click to purchase now. Man, that feeling when we're in love and it feels like we are the only two people in the whole universe that exists. That is such an awesome feeling, isn't it? But when a couple of fictional characters are able to elicit that feeling in you, when these two fictional characters are able to take you out of your dreary, humdrum everyday life and through them experience, through their eyes, their love, and it is the greatest love you have ever witnessed. And just for a moment, for the briefest moment, you feel it as intensely as they do, and you feel so alive because of it. That is Baltasar and Blimunda. Hi, and welcome to Reading for Idiots, a channel where I try to transmit my enthusiasm for reading by reviewing books every other Wednesday and reading books live on Twitch on Saturdays and Sundays, 4:30 p.m. GMT+8. Weekend videos are uploaded to YouTube the evening of the same day, and every other Wednesday when I'm not doing a no spoiler review, I publish a video like 5 things I learned from reading, link below. The book of today's no spoiler review is by an author who has an inimitable style, and his voice, or his narrative voice, is so original that in the face of the rising tide of AI, his style genuinely gives me hope for the creative arts in the future. Because how the did Jose Saramago come up with the way Jose Saramago writes? In that 5 things I learned from reading video that I mentioned just now, I talk about how reading is like time traveling because our imagination is just transported to another world. In fact, The Mask of Apollo by Mary Renault is a fantastic example of that. I'll put a link to my review of it down below. But Jose Saramago's narrator, that narrative voice, and I've only read 2 books of his, but in both books, his narrator is a time traveler. I'll explain, or at least I'll try to explain that more later on in the video, but for now, please, strap in, mash that like button, share this video with everyone you know, and go nuts in the comments telling me what you think, and get ready for my no spoiler review of Baltasar and Blimunda by Jose Saramago. Like, share, subscribe. Jose de Souza Saramago, 1922 to 2010, was a Portuguese writer and novelist and widely considered one of the most influential, important, and consequential authors of contemporary literature. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1998 for, I quote, and I'm going to read, "Parables sustained by imagination, compassion, and irony, with which he continually enables us once again to apprehend an illusory reality." His works, historical fiction kinda, they tend to offer a subversive take on historical events, like in the Gospel According to Jesus Christ. I'll put a link to my no spoiler review of that down below. Jose Saramago likes to focus on the role of religion in society, but not just in that book. He also likes to focus on how our culture develops. And also he places big emphasis on the actual lived human experience of that time, be it in the time of Jesus, or in the case of Baltasar and Blimunda, 1700s Portugal. Jose Saramago was born very poor to landless peasants in a Portuguese village called Aginaga. Fun fact, Saramago is actually the Portuguese word for wild radish. This was an insulting nickname given to his dad and was accidentally incorporated into his name when he was registered at birth. Jose's parents couldn't afford to keep him in school, so Jose went to a technical college where he graduated as a lathe operator, whatever that is. He read books in the public library in Lisbon while working as a mechanic, and then later on while working as a civil servant before finally becoming the awesome, badass writer that we know him as. His other notable works include The Year of the Death of Ricardo Reis, 1984, The Gospel According to Jesus Christ, I already mentioned that, 1991, Blindness, 1995, and The Double, 2002. Baltasar and Blimunda, published in 1982 in Portuguese and then in 1987 in English. It is set during the reign of King Zhao V, 1706 to 1750, and his reign is particularly noted for the incredible economic prosperity and the staggeringly bad social inequality. Historical fiction, magical realism, philosophical inquiry, religion, love, power, human agency, the oppressive nature of the church, political authority, ... The novel is the story of Baltasar, who is a one-armed man who lost his left arm in some battle in some war, and Blimunda, who is a mystic. She has like magical vision, and they meet when Blimunda's mother is being publicly put to death for religious reasons. This is the story of their lives. These two are involved in the construction of the convent at Mafra, which is an actual place and a symbol of the extravagance of the royalty and the church. They meet a Lorenzo de Guzmão, who is an actual person, a pioneer, believe it or not, of air travel, and another actual person, Domenico Scarlatti, a composer and harpsichordist. I'll put a link to them down below. How do you write a love story that transcends time and culture and the tides of history, where the love of the protagonists is so utterly unique that there can't possibly be another love like it? Well, you do it by not writing a love story. Really, like really. Saramago doesn't shy away from the cruelty, poverty, inequality, stench, hypocrisy, brutality, wealth, ceremony, fanaticism, devotion, everything. He goes there and he goes hard. And the one constant, reliable North Star thing I had as a reader through it all was Baltasar and Blimunda's love for each other. So Saramago famously doesn't use any of these quote marks when he does speech, and he's also sparse with his punctuation. Like in general, we slip from characters' thoughts into their actions as seamlessly as we slip from one character speaking to another character speaking. And it has like this dreamlike quality, and the sentences are long and they're poetic. And every now and then the narrator, Saramago, breaks the fourth wall by interjecting something to us directly. And it's not jarring when he breaks the fourth wall. You know how like normally it's kind of jarring when the fourth wall is broken? Instead, it's kind of comforting. It has like a, oh, by the way, quality to it. That's Saramago's unique narrative voice. He's with you. He's on this journey of telling you the story with you. And there is a once upon a time quality to it too. But he's not talking down to you as a mother would do a child, but he's speaking to you as an equal, as a partner, as someone from that time. In this case, 1700s Portugal. But he's also detached and able to see things the way we see things too. Hence, the ever-pervasive irony and humor and wit that he has in his writing. He's got one foot there in the past, in the story, and one foot here with us, a time traveler. And because there's no punctuation, it feels casual, like no big deal, like a conversation you'll just have in a bar that you'll forget tomorrow when you wake up. And that is what makes some of the things he says that much more devastating, whether it's the cruelty of life or the love that Baltasar and Blimunda has. The narrator has one foot there and one foot here, and of course, life is cruel. It is what it is. It's no big deal. That's just how things are. Move on. The sun is high. The air is heavy. The stones of the road burn the soles of those who walk barefoot, for shoes are a luxury. The oxen plod forward, dragging the heavy cart. The driver slaps them with the loose rope, urging them on, and the cart creaks, its wheels groaning under the weight of time. The dust rises and sticks to the sweat of men and beasts alike, and all of this, every grain of dust, every bead of sweat, every turn of the wheel is history, though no scribe will write it down, for history is made of kings and battles, not of those who carry the stones to build the palaces. And yet, without these men, without their hands, their breath, their suffering, there would be no kings, no palaces, no history as it is told, only silence and the wind blowing through unfinished walls. And through all that, Baltasar and Blimunda. You have now reached the end of the video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please leave me a comment, naughty or nice. I want to hear your thoughts. Violate that like button. Subscribe in spite. Send this video to your worst enemies. And yeah, of course, if you want to recommend me a book, please let me know down below or send me a message. This channel is as much for you as it is for me. Otherwise, until we meet in the next video,
like, share, subscribe.